We need to pull people under the same umbrella. It might be the monarchy, it might be national pride, but the way we're going at the moment, splitting into tribes and being a balkanized nation, we're heading for civil unrest. We're heading for mass violence. I want us all to share so many things. Doesn't matter about your religion. I want us all to support the English football team, the English cricket team, not the Bangladeshi cricket team. I want us to all come together at fun days. I want us I want us to be like it was 50 years ago. It won't be exactly the same because of mass immigration, but surely we can get us all.
We can settle. It's not too late, Nick. We can settle it. It's not too late. I mean, I think there's some very basic steps that a new advanced UK government would have to take. We're coming back slightly to immigration, if that's all right. But I mean, I think the first thing that needs to happen is that the right for indefinite leave to remain and the right to British citizenship needs to be suspended right across the board. No more handing out of indefinite leave to remain or British citizenship. Ditch the Human Rights Act. Ditch the European Convention of Human Rights, and you don't need to replace them with anything. We just go back to the former protection of human rights that we naturally had in this country before that. And then you increase the minimum wage for immigrants coming to this country to a very high level. And I would suggest £80,000 per annum. So it absolutely nails legal migration to this country. And you slash welfare state back, you reduce taxes, you make it worthwhile for people to work. That'll bring, over time, businesses will go and find the 7.7 million people who aren't working and make it worth their while to come back into the workplace because they can't go abroad and fill their socks full of unskilled, cheap labor. And those people who are coming here illegally will stop coming illegally because first of all, they'll be prevented from doing so as they try and enter our territorial waters. And once they're here, they won't get all the cushy treatment that they used to get. They should be under lock and key. They should be detained and deported, and so on and so forth. And I think if you did all of that, then again, as I say, that kind of holistic approach, re-establishing what it means to be a nation state, ditching DEI, so that actually we can have a settled to a very significant extent, homogeneous culture. DEI actually informs ethnic minorities that you can be in the cultural silos that you just referred to, Nick. You know, go and live in your community, and that's fine. Go and practice your culture. You don't have to integrate. No, we need a positive program for integration. We've got to get the Union flag on all public buildings. We've got to make sure that the trans flag comes down. That's not the United Kingdom. We've got to get the Union flag up. You sing the national anthem. Now, this is alien to us as a country. You and I maybe sang the national anthem at school once a term. I don't know. We didn't do it frequently. But sing the national anthem every morning. Make everyone sing hymns in school. I think that the importance of singing hymns is lost on many people because hymns don't just connect us with the country's Christian roots. They also connect us with the country's history because so much of it is about England or about the United Kingdom and various endeavors and so on. People going to church. When you walk into any church in the United Kingdom, you see two things. You see God, and then you see representations of people who've died for this country or who lived here, who did great things and are remembered in their local churches and chapels and so on. And that gives you a sense of belonging. So, you know, we've got to cut back all the illegal, we've got to stop illegal migration, we've got to slash mass migration, we've got to get rid of all the regulatory framework that divides our society, and then we need to promote positively our culture and our history. And that needs to be the de rigueur default position. And you need to accept, if you come to this country, that you're coming to a Christian country. And that it's a country that has an imperial past, of which we should be proud, and so on and so forth. And we should stop indoctrinating children against our history and start teaching them their history with pride. When I was at school, every bit of history that I learned about the United Kingdom made me think, God, we were amazing. Wow, we did the Napoleonic Wars. We won that. That was so superb. Nelson, 1805, we had peace on the seas, control of the high seas till 1917. Without Nelson, we wouldn't have had the Industrial Revolution the way that we did because he gave us the peace that we needed for the prosperity to follow, and so on. I was so proud of what we'd achieved. And now we're told your wealth was made on the back of a slave trade, and that Edward Colston, by the way, who was a great benefactor in Bristol. You walk around Bristol, you see his name. No doubt they'll be scrubbing it off, but he was a great benefactor. Instead of remembering his benefaction, they're taking his statue down and throwing him in the Severn. And they want now Clive of India's statue to come down. Did you see that? I mean, what the hell? This guy, whatever you think of Clive, he was of his time. He was a great British uh, a hero. So was Rhodes. So was Winston Churchill. But all these people are now white supremacists through the prism of this ridiculous modernity in which we live. Sorry, I could go on and on and on. But you see the point I'm making, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wrote a book on this. It's called Anglophobia, A Price Worth Paying to Be English. And it goes into everything you've just been talking about why we're being attacked, why we have English self-hate, about our past and how amazing it was and how we basically created the modern world. And we never did things like cultural appropriation. We everything we discovered and we invented, we gave the world to improve the world, and we created the modern world. And we probably deserve a thank you from many countries.
100%. I mean, the common law system, we wouldn't have international trade and the prosperity which followed international trade if it hadn't been for our brilliant system, which is used in international courts the world over because it's so good. But yet we've rushed into this European project where Europe has repeatedly failed to have a legal system that comes anywhere close to ours. You know, one of the reasons we won World War II, let's be clear about this. This is what I mean about how getting the fundamentals right has massive implications. One of the reasons we won World War II is because we are form over substance, because we are free thinkers, because that comes from our common law approach. The Germans, for all their rigor, engineering capability, and determination, actually had to follow orders all the time. The German soldier couldn't do anything. He wasn't given the liberty to do anything of his own accord. The British Tommy was told to go out, go and take that bit of land, find the way you want to do it. Are you with me? Does that make sense? Yeah. And we've got to go back to that.
We've got to go back to personal responsibility. It's your life, and only you know the best way to run your life and your family's life and impact your community. And we need to stop looking at the state for the answers and to do it for us. I've been going on about this for 2 decades.